The superstars of Fan Control Football Season 2.0 are not only the who's who of celebrity team owners and influencers, not the 21 million live views of our Emmy-nominated broadcast. Across Twitch, DAZN, Fubo, NBCLX, Peacock. Or our highlights that scored over 100 million views. And we can't forget best-in-class sponsors. But the biggest star of Season 2 is our play-calling app that allow fans to control the action on the field. Fans pick a team, pick a play, 4 run plays, 4 pass plays to choose from. The play with the most votes is called in real time.
We got it.
This is where video games and live action come to life. And now, Fan Control Sports and Entertainment brings you Fan Controlled Hoops, where fans call the shots. Coming 2023, the future of sports is here, and it's Fan Control. Power to the fans.
Are you ready for it?
This is FCTV, fan-controlled television. Programs created and produced for the fans, by the fans of fan-controlled sports and entertainment. As always, power to the fans. And now, it's time for the show.
Don't cause a ruckus. We talking that talk, just spitting them facts. We setting them traps and cracking them backs. We got all the news, we know all the stories. We start from the bottom, rise up to the glory. We say what your local reporters can't say. We break down the X's and O's on the play. It's AJ, King, Khah and Jose Ruckus. We call it right on the first take and they love us. Yeah, we the best when it comes to sports debate. Find the podcast and let it play. If we get you in your feelings, that's okay. AJ and Jose send you on your way like, bruh, don't cause a ruckus. We just call it how we see it, big bro. And that we will always.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to Don't Cause a Ruckus, the sports debate show that tries not to take itself too seriously. I am one of your hosts, Jose Ruckus, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and arch rival, AJ Khah. What's up, AJ?
Not too much, man. Just here enjoying life. You know, the usual. Just
I like hearing that. I like hearing that you're enjoying life, you know?
Yeah.
Huge,
How have you been, man?
Huge FCH news today.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't been following, we're going to talk about this later in the show, but Fan Controlled Hoops, that's the main focus of Fan Controlled Sports Entertainment right now. FCF, a little bit on the back burner, unfortunately, but Fan Controlled Hoops is coming up shortly. And they just announced today we're taking submissions for names, for logos, for designs. This is exciting times, AJ.
It is. It is exciting times.
In season 1, I think one of the most exciting things that we did was name our teams in season 1.
Yeah, so I'm a little different. I guess because I came in late in season 1, the team names and like the logos were pretty much already solidified. I came in after that, right before the jerseys were being decided. So
Okay.
I still got excited about the jerseys. I was a Glacier Boy season 1. I loved the jersey aspect of it. But season 2, when they made team names, and I actually got to be one of the people to name the team, not only to name a team, but to name a team that I later would go on to own. Man, I'm so excited to do that for basketball. One of my favorite things.
So, I mean, like I said, I thought it was one of the most fun parts of season 1. For season 2, like as somebody who wasn't participating in it, it wasn't super hype for me just because the team names, they weren't, you know, we based them on NFT communities and like the Knights of Degen. They just named their teams the Knights of Degen. Is a little boring for me. I wanted to come up with some spicy names.
But that's what basketball is about. And
Exactly.
Hey, Bored Ape Football Club is not Bored Ape Yacht Club. All right, it's different.
I do like the little play on words, the football club aspect of it. I did enjoy that. I think you guys had the best name of any of the teams. Shout out to the Kingpins though for actually coming up with something original.
I do like the Kingpins
that as well.
Eight-Oki wasn't incredibly
the Eight-Okies.
Yeah, the Eight-Oki. So it wasn't incredibly like creative, but it got the job done. But the thing that I'm most excited about is, and this is what I haven't done. We saw I think it's 2Z Designs. he came in with 4 logos off the bat. I can't do that. Like, I love making logos. I love being a part of the whole design. Until I know the name, I've been burned by the FCF like community like votes before with logos and stuff. Until we know the name, I'm not gonna draw logos.
I'm hoping
Not worth my time.
I'm hoping Campfire Designs might throw his hat in for one of these teams because that guy's been known to do. I don't know if you see this behind you. This guy's known to do some dope designs. So I hope we see him back because he's really really great at this stuff. Huge show today, AJ. Huge show. We got, NBA playoffs roll on. We're gonna react to the NFL draft today. We're gonna spend a lot of time talking about the legacy of the Warriors today. If that's your cup of tea, you're gonna be real happy about it. But let's just do a little NFL draft recap first, AJ. Okay, because I want to know who are the winners and losers of the NFL draft.
All right. Well, do you have off the bat any winners and losers on your thing? Because I enjoy hearing yours. You're doing very well. I have a couple. If you want me to go first, but
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there are a lot of losers in this draft.
I don't think so
most
either.
people drafted pretty well, which is rare. I honestly feel like when we walk out of the draft normally, and it's like one team was like, "Whew, they really screwed some stuff up. They wasted some picks." This year, I really felt like everybody came out.
They did
The Lions, I'm suspect about.
I was gonna say the Giants didn't do much.
No.
A little sleep. I don't think Indiana did much to help out Gardner Minshew. But
I think Indiana probably should have made the trade up to 3 to grab a quarterback.
Yeah,
maybe, but it's hard to argue with nobody screwed up big time.
I don't think so either. I'm gonna be real. As far as winners go, like I think Washington did good. They helped out Kirk Cousins. Green Bay Packers did surprisingly well.
I liked their draft, yeah.
And I know everybody's gonna be like, "Well, AJ, you always say this." I'm happy with what the Falcons did, man. They got who I wanted in the first round. I know a lot of people are like, "You guys have way too many good running backs." Everyone is talking that Bijan is the stud of this draft. He's going to be an offensive MVP wherever he goes. And all I'm going to say is,
no,
the people that are complaining about him going to Atlanta, that whole playbook is built for running backs. If they could do what they did last year with the people that they had, imagine having a stud running back with that offense like system. I think he's going to be a standout. I think Desmond Ridder he's being built around perfectly, and it is now up to him to show up.
Okay. I'm not huge on what the Atlanta Falcons did. I think this is a criticism I had of my team last year, which is taking a running back when you're not ready to go can be an extremely dangerous proposition because the running back careers tend to be very, very short. So if you're finally got the team built by the time, they're on the decline, you kind of screwed up. I do think he's a great player. I will never get upset about a team taking the best player out of position in a draft. I always think it's, and so that my winner of the NFL draft, I'll tell you who it is, AJ. Geno Smith is the winner of the NFL draft.
Because the Seahawks didn't draft a quarterback.
The Seahawks drafted deep in offensive weapons. They took the best slot receiver in the draft. They took another amazing weapon at running back. They took the best center in the draft. And they even threw him a couple of good defensive pieces, getting the best cornerback in the draft. Like I said, I always love it when a team gets the best player out of position in a draft. I just think that that's the way that I would draft. And the Seahawks are walking away with 3 of the best players out of position. That seems like a huge win to me. Obviously, look, it's a little bit of homerism. Absolutely. But we didn't get who I wanted in any of the rounds where I was looking at players. I wanted pass rushers. I wanted a couple more offensive linemen, but I'm very, very happy with where this is going to go. And I think Geno Smith is going to really ball out. If he maintains the level that he played at last year, adding these weapons, I think he's going to have a hell of a year. So Geno Smith, I think, is for me the winner of the NFL draft.
That's fair. Of course, there's homerism. I was just rooting for the Falcons.
Couple questions in the chat here. Jay Spacely, how do we feel about the QB pickup from the 49ers? Smart move from them, especially with all the talks about potentially moving on from Trey Lance. If that is the case, they're still not set up at quarterback. Like, we don't know if Brock Purdy's the real deal. We don't know if Trey Lance is the real deal. There's some talks about them going after Kirk Cousins. If I was the GM of a football team, I honestly think I would take a quarterback every single year. Not first, not second, not third, but I would be walking away of every single draft with a quarterback because it's just, you never know. I mean, you look at Tom Brady, you never know where you're going to hit on a great quarterback in a draft. So 6th round, I'd always just be popping off with a quarterback pick. So I don't think it's a terrible pick from the 49ers grabbing a quarterback. Taking a kicker. Taking a kicker's a little suspect. I get that they need it. Robbie Gould's leaving. He doesn't want to be there anymore. But taking a kicker high up is it's a bit of a reach. I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I actually got 2. I'm gonna ask what Peanut's pointing out. Eagles are literally the Georgia Bulldogs North. How do you feel about that? And 2, Stetson Bennett as a Ram. Thoughts?
Okay. Eagles taking a lot of Georgia Bulldog players. I think it's a great defensive strategy. The Georgia Bulldogs have been absolutely insane for the past 3 years. So yeah, draft as many of those dudes as you want. That seems good to me. Stetson Bennett as a Ram. I mean, I'll tell you what, as the NFC West, I'm not worried about it.
All right. Fair. I mean, I think he's I think that the Rams are a good spot for him. I think he's going to get some attention, but I don't think he's going to get any attention anytime soon.
They haven't missed on a quarterback in a while. Like,
yeah.
I mean, say what you will about Jared Goff. He was pretty good on the Rams. Like, they went to a Super Bowl with him. Like, he wasn't the best, but they know how to. I mean, Baker Mayfield showed up on the Rams last year, and he looked pretty good for a couple of games. So if they seem to think that they've got a guy that they can work with, I'm sure he's going to be something. I just don't, I don't think he's going to be great or anything.
Yeah.
Any other draft thoughts from you, AJ?
Not really. I think similar to what you said, man. Like, I don't feel like there were any teams that really didn't do well in this draft, or if they didn't do well, it's because they were paying attention to, like, things in the free agency. So I'm excited for this next NFL season. I think it's going to be a good one. I think each division has, different characters in it. There's always the obvious favorite, and then there's like a lot of black horses in the
NFC's wide open still. We talked about it all last season. The NFC was open. The NFC's still wide open right now. So it's exciting, man. Really, really exciting.
And just the quarterback shakeup, man. I'm loving that. Like, because to me, a quarterback is obviously the face of the franchise. And to see so many just change, move, get drafted, to me, it's exactly what I've been wanting and saying all last year. You need new quarterbacks. You need new young blood in here, and we got it. I'm just excited to see who is NFL worthy, can make that transition from college to the NFL, and B, I'm just excited to see like who these, because we're at an era, we're at a turning point right now in the NFL where a new crop of all-stars are coming in, and I'm excited for it. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see. It
feels like this is the first big turnover,
draft.
Like a complete turning of the page from like, there were so many dudes from like when you and I were like teenagers still kicking around the league, the Tom Brady's, Aaron Rodgers still being on the Packers, Drew Brees, and now it feels like all these guys are getting washed away. It's like a whole new NFL.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy, man. Well, let's get into some of this NBA talk, man, because the 76ers Celtics, it's going on right now. It's a pretty interesting game, and Joel Embiid just got named MVP of the league, which is pretty crazy. Happy for him. I really like him as a player.
How though? That's bonkers to me. It should have been the Joker.
I'll tell you why it's not the Joker. I'll tell you why.
Tell me why. I need you to spoon feed this to me because it still doesn't make sense.
The ending of Nikola Jokic's season, he really fell off. He sat out a lot of games because they had essentially locked up the 1 seed. His back half, following the All-Star break, he just didn't perform to the same level. Joel continued to put up the stats. He continued to be dominant. I don't know if he would have been my pick for MVP. I think I probably still would have gone with Giannis. But when it comes to Jokic and Embiid, I do think that Jokic just kind of trailed off towards the end of the season. I've seen Denver fans tell me this, so I know it's true.
But that's not his fault though. That's more of a, fault of being too good. That's a fault of his talent. Like he doesn't have to put that much effort towards the end of the season because they got number 1 seed locked up. Like I wouldn't be upset if, look at me. I'm literally the owner of the team that once we were destined and locked to that playoff spot, we rested our players to make sure that they weren't.
But
hurt.
that
didn't do anything.
That speaks to the lack of value, though, right? Like, it's less than value. If you can sit the guy and you're still locking up the 1 seed, you're still doing really well. In he's not playing to the top level potential that you expect him to, and the team's still doing really good.
Or
that's part of it.
Did he play just so well that they locked it up too soon?
I do think that there is a bit of voting fatigue. I think that people didn't necessarily want to vote for him 3 times in a row. That's the kind of honor that only like Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain have had, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like these types of names. And let's just be real, Nikola Jokic is not one of those type of names. I think that plays into it. But
you really don't think he's one of those types of names? The way he's been so dominant, yes, he hasn't won.
I think he's a fantastic basketball player. Don't get me wrong.
But you don't think he deserves to be amongst those names?
What's he done besides win MVPs?
That's fair, but you could say that about a lot of former huge stars.
But those guys also never won 3 in a row MVPs.
That's true. You're not wrong.
It's what if he had won a championship by now, maybe a couple championships, 3 MVPs in a row. Yeah, let's do it. But you just keep getting bounced in the first round year after year, man. Like we start to, see what you do in the regular season as being less valuable.
You're not wrong.
I think Joel, I love that this guy finally got his first one. I don't normally like this line of thinking, but I do think that if we in 10 years from now we look back, we're like, wow, Joel Embiid never won an MVP. That would seem a bit weird considering the seasons he's put up. So yeah, I'm happy he finally got one.
He's gonna get another one. Denver's leading 2-0.
Yeah,
I think so, man. You don't think so? You're gonna tell me the Suns are gonna come back? Suns and 6?
I'm not expecting the Suns to, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're talking Eastern Conference right now. AJ.
Okay, Eastern Conference. All right.
The Knicks should be embarrassed by the win. This is the first time I've seen a team win a playoff game and think man, you guys should be embarrassed for winning that game the way you did.
Yeah. Honestly, the Heat are magic this postseason, but without their star, what are you gonna do?
They put up a hell of a fight without Jimmy.
They did.
It was honestly insane how long that they were leading that game. And for the for the Knicks, you're losing to Caleb Martin and Max Strus. These dudes are the guys who are cooking you right now. You're a playoff team. You're losing to Caleb. These are undrafted dudes that you're getting cooked by right now. It's just the Knicks aren't ready for this, man. They're not ready for the finals.
I think the Knicks are getting shown, they're getting exposed this series. It kind of shows that they barely scraped by the last series. Let's be real. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm going to be honest. The fact that the Knicks got into the playoffs shows how easy the East is right now. And I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of true. You look at the West, you see how evenly spread it is, how there was an actual fight towards the end of the season to make sure you can get into the play-in bracket. With the East, there was something similar, but it was more just there's 4 mediocre teams dead set in the center that you just got to figure out who's there.
When you look at the other side of the bracket where it's the 76ers and the Celtics fighting in this round right now,
it feels like it should be the next round.
Yeah, this feels like
everybody
this should
wants...
be This might
Yeah.
just honestly be the real Eastern Conference Finals if Jimmy Butler doesn't
genuinely
get back
is.
in time and the Knicks just run this thing over. Because
It's gonna be swept. Yeah,
the Knicks
they're
are
gonna get swept.
the Knicks are donezo after this.
There's no way that they get past. If they do get past this round, which I really hope won't happen, and the only way that happens is, like you said, Jimmy Butler stays out. But if they do get to the next round, if they don't get swept, they will definitely get gentlemen swept.
I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, but let's get into the Western Conference because this is where the interesting basketball is happening.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, Lakers Warriors, man, this is gonna be a fun series.
It is, and it's just because like I feel like this is the modern day equivalent of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Steph and LeBron?
Steph and LeBron. I really do think it, because you got to look at it. LeBron is a dominant force. He's won multiple times, multiple championships, arguably the GOAT that we've argued. I still don't think so. But then you have Steph, who is, in my opinion, up there with some of the best point guards in history, if not the best point guard in NBA history.
We're also
I know that's
about that on the
bold
show.
I know,
Let's save those opinions for there.
I know, but the man is great. These two guys are titans in the NBA world, and
Absolutely.
they both have that title in their own right because they both have won multiple championships and led teams to those championships. I'm just excited, man. I think this is going to be a great series. I didn't
think that this was going to be so exciting. I honestly, when the
thought it was going to be a bunch of old men.
When the Warriors beat the Kings, I was like, okay, we're going to see Steph versus LeBron for the 6th time. Like, I just was like, I'm not that interested. I've seen these two play together. And then I was watching it last night, and man, I was enthralled. It was great basketball. These two, they're really good.
I think it's because, and it's kind of one of those situations where like nostalgia is kicking in for us, because you got to admit, for our generation, these two guys are the kings of basketball for arguably our generation, and they're battling it out like gladiators. Like Steph turns it on in the playoffs just as much as LeBron does, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it, purely because a point guard is there for assists and power forwards and forwards are there for dunks and points. So I think Steph needs to get a little more attention, a little more, praise in comparison to LeBron James. I really do.
Well, let's just get into this topic now, because honestly, we mentioned Nuggets Suns.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets.
This doesn't even feel like a competitive series right now. Weirdly, with Kevin Durant and how stacked that Suns team is, it feels like that series should be closer, and it's just not for some reason. So we'll check in on that next week.
Like, Booker's he's checked out.
Chris Paul is the classic playoff Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton's he can't do a goddamn thing against Joker.
What is he? He's been silent this series, and it is sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
Well, because he can't hold up to Joker. Joker is a better center than he is.
We never got to talk about this. I kept having it in my notes, but when you go back and watch that Nuggets Timberwolves series, Rudy Gobert is supposed to be, this defensive player of the year, the best rim protector in the NBA. That's what he keeps getting called. And you watch him getting played against Joker, and it's just like this. He looks like a scrub.
He's getting bullied. He's getting bullied.
Absolutely. And that's it's the same thing that you're seeing in this Suns series. And unfortunately, that's about all there is to say about it. So let's just do it right now. Steph Curry. He just had the best Game 7 in the history of the NBA. Was it 45 points he put up or something like that? Just insane, absolutely insane numbers. Nobody's ever had a bigger Game 7 than what Steph Curry just did. He's won 4 championships. He's a unanimous MVP. Why isn't this dude talked about as one of the 5-10 best players in the history of the NBA?
I don't know. I think he deserves it. I generally do. Like,
where do we start? Where we need to start ranking this guy all time? Because honestly, like, calling Steph Curry a point guard is a little bit, of a misnomer, because he doesn't necessarily play like a point guard. He's more like a shooting guard who can play point guard. Is he better than Magic Johnson?
I don't know if I would say he's better than Magic Johnson, but I probably would say he's better than Isaiah Thomas.
I agree.
Both
Both Isaiah Thomases.
Both Isaiah Thomases. Before I get the question of which one, but both. Okay.
We were talking about like the unanimous best shooter of all time. Like, I mean, almost every other thing in the NBA is debated about, right? Like, you want to talk who's the best player in the NBA? You say Jordan, I say LeBron. You want to talk about who's the best power forward of all time? You know, we can have that conversation about, is it, you know, who is it? Who you want to talk about the best center of all time? Is it Hakeem Olajuwon? Is it Shaq? There's always these conversations. You say who's the best shooter of all time? Every single person's going to say Steph Curry. He's the only right answer in all of the NBA.
I'm going to say this. Best shooter in all of history. Yeah, it's Steph. Best point guard. I'm going to say Magic Johnson for now. If Curry can win the playoffs this year, I think that will solidify his position as the best point guard in history.
Well, I think it's when you start considering the differences of what they do as point guards, right? Who's the best initiator of an offense of all time? It's probably Magic Johnson. His passing ability, his ability to just read a defense, see over top of defense. It's insane. The guy was amazing. But the best offensive point guard of all time, the best dude who can lead a team to scoring the most points, it's got to be Steph Curry now. I mean, he plays off the ball better than he plays with the ball, which is kind of insane for a point guard.
But you also have to notice the difference between the size. Steph Curry is a smaller player. Magic Johnson was playing point guard at a body that at the time a lot of people thought he was like a small forward.
Yeah.
So like Steph Curry is not a big man. So you have to take that into consideration. But the fact that he's still so dominant, like I'm looking at, you know, Sporting News' top 15 players of all time. They rank Steph Curry as 11. Every person ahead of him, besides Magic Johnson, is a forward, and every person in front of him is way, 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 way taller than him. To be considered one of the best of all time in a game that's dominated as giants, as 6'3", you have to commend the guy. You have to give him a little bit more credit. And I genuinely think that that's the issue. That's the reason why he doesn't get.
Give me the 1 through 10. Give me the 1 through, because I need to know who's beating out Steph Curry for top 10 all time.
So in this hypothetical one that I'm looking at right now, it's Michael Jordan number 1, LeBron James number 2. Yeah. Arguably, you could switch those two up. Mm-hmm. Then they got Kareem,
number 3,
obviously, number 3. Yeah. Then they got Magic. Then Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
I feel like those two are interchangeable. I think Larry Bird should go in front of him. Who's next? Then Tim Duncan, Shaq, and Kobe, then Steph. And Kevin Durant right behind him.
Steph's better than Kobe. Better than Kobe.
That's fighting words. I don't
Steph's
agree
better
with that.
than Kobe.
I don't agree with that. I don't think so.
I think it's definitive. I think Steph is better than Kobe. And like it's not.
I think
close,
Kobe's
honestly.
better than LeBron, man.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah. You got to look at the people that. So I think for every every 10 years, there's somebody that brings in the kids, like that's money. That's the money getter. For a while, I think for like 20 years, almost like 15 years, it was Michael Jordan. For a long time. Before that, it was Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. After Michael, you got. I don't want to say LeBron, but you kind of have to say LeBron.
It's Shaq, it's Tim Duncan, it's Kobe.
But you got to do, exactly. In between LeBron and Magic, you got Kobe, or LeBron and MJ, you got Kobe. I wouldn't even say Shaq. You got to give Kobe his dues, man. The man is a GOAT.
Shaq's the most dominant NBA player of all time.
He won without Shaq.
Shaq won without Kobe.
That's true, but not as many times and not as well.
Okay, but he had Marc Gasol. He
won 3 times without Kobe, without Shaq, didn't he?
Yeah, but he had 2 other All-Stars on his team with him.
Yeah, but he's Kobe Bryant, man. He's Kobe the Bean Bryant. The man is good. I wasn't prepared for this argument. All right,
Kobe was a great basketball player, but you talk about who has the most shot misses in NBA history. It's Kobe Bryant.
It's true.
I do have efficiency of him playing as an Kobe's game never aged. Kobe had a peak of greatness, and then when he went down really, really hard. When you look at what Steph is still doing towards the end of his career now. And honestly, I'm not even sure it's the end of his career because it's just his game continues to just be so good as he gets older. He just continues to dominate, man. It's insane.
The Rolling Tide, that is the absolute most cap I've ever seen in a stadium.
Larry Bird is not talked enough. Larry
Get
Bird
out of
talked
here.
about
He's
too
talking
much.
about too much. Yeah.
Too much.
Way too much. The man has been overly blown out of proportion. In my
When I
opinion.
talk about greatest players of all time, I want them to be the best at something.
Yeah.
I want them to be the best. What was Kobe Bryant the best at? Kobe Bryant was just a lesser version of other players.
You want to know what Kobe Bryant was the best at?
What?
I'll tell you what he was the best at. Attacking the rim.
No, Shaq is better at it. Shaq is the best
No.
rim attacker of all time. That's what.
Shaq
That's
is
all
just
Shaq did.
Shaq is just the most dominant one.
Kobe Bryant's not attacking the rim. He's not the best at. Kobe Bryant's the best at dribbling out a clock and then missing a jumper. That's what Kobe Bryant's the best at.
That's what he was good at the end of his season.
Kobe
End of
Bryant
his
was the
career.
best at not giving the ball to an open guy on the perimeter. That's what Kobe Bryant was the best at.
I mean, that's
Kobe Bryant was the
hilarious.
best at not passing the ball. He's the anti-Magic Johnson.
You know what? He was the best at mentality. That's what he was.
No, because it was just a rip off of Michael Jordan, just like everything else about him.
I don't know about all that. I don't want to say that.
I'm tired of the
I agree with
Kobe
that,
Bryant
though.
wanted it more than everybody else. Kobe Bryant's.
It's that Mamba
You never-
mentality, man. Come
you
on.
never
can't
hear
get
those
rid of that.
It's all made up, man. You never hear that about Tim Duncan. And Tim Duncan was just as dominant as Kobe Bryant was.
I feel like Tim Duncan was like the Kawhi Leonard of that generation. He's just a quiet, he has that quiet, slow, quiet build reserve of dominance. He's not the type of player that will talk a lot, but he's the type of player that will, defend and do what needs to be done. And then after he beat you, he'd be like, see all that talking you did? Didn't do shit. I beat your ass.
Exactly.
And that's it.
I
That's
have
the type
way
of person
more
that Kevin
respect for
Durant
the
is.
Tim Duncans of the world. The big fundamental. That guy
The
deserves to
big
be top
fun-
10 all time. Big
Well,
fundamentals in the top 10.
He is he's number 8. He's number 8.
He's what,
number 8.
Best power forward of all time? Gotta be.
Yeah. He's in front of Shaq. Goes Timmy,
I don't know if I'd put him in
Shaq,
front of
Kobe.
Shaq. I don't know if I'd put him in front of Shaq.
I
But
would.
he's
won
definitely gotta
more.
be up there.
Didn't he win more championships than Shaq?
He did win more championships,
Yeah.
but he consistently
stayed-
had
He was
a pool of
Spurs
players
whole
around him.
life.
He got to play with David Robinson early on, their Twin Towers, and then the Big Three era.
And Manu,
Shaq, Shaq was doing it with Dwayne
Parker.
Wade and Alonzo Mourning.
LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Like, come on. The guy worked with some of the best players
He
in the
played with
world.
LeBron James on the Cavs
Still,
when he was
that's
completely
two
washed.
superstars, and they didn't do it. They didn't get it done.
Speaking of superstars, AJ, let's do our next topic here. This is going to be a fun one. Best team of all time. Is it the 72 win Bulls or the 73 win Warriors? Who's the best team in the history of the NBA?
I don't want to get into this because I feel like everyone would expect me to say one thing, and I'm not going to say it.
Really? What are you going to say?
I think it's the Golden State Warriors, man.
You think the Warriors, the 73 Warriors, are better than the 72 win Bulls?
Yeah, I do.
Break it down. Explain it to me.
Man, I mean, okay, I'm double checking the roster real quick.
I got the roster
wanna
right here
make
for you.
sure.
Want me to read it out for you?
Yeah.
Bulls, we got Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc,
Right.
Ron Harper, Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, Steve Kerr. I mean, obviously, we're talking
And then we
Pippen.
got then
Scottie
we got
Pippen.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, Harrison Barnes, Maurice
Andre
Spates,
Iguodala, Sean
Iguodala.
Livingston, Andrew
We got
Bogut, Barbosa.
Bosa, Azili, Brandon Rush, Kevin Looney too, Anderson Varejao. Okay, you know why that team is better than the Bulls? I'll tell you why. Because every person that the Bulls has, there's a defensive person on the Warriors team that can lock them up. Yeah. I know you're like, wait,
Okay,
what?
okay.
AJ,
No,
what are you talking about?
let's go one for one. Who's taking MJ?
All right. Shocking. Iggy's gonna be taking MJ.
Okay,
All
yeah,
right.
okay. Same way Iggy took LeBron. We can put Iggy on
On
who's
MJ.
taking Pippen.
All right. Now this is gonna be a fun one. Harrison Barnes.
You're gonna put Harrison Barnes on Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen's getting 30 a night. You put Harrison Barnes on Scottie Pippen.
That's fine. I'm expecting Scottie to get 30 tonight because Draymond's going to be on Dennis. Dennis isn't going to get the rebounds. Draymond's going to fight just as hard.
He's literally the best rebounder of all time. Literally,
Right.
nobody's ever been better at rebounding than Dennis Rodman.
But Draymond Green is arguably one of the most feisty and arguably dirty players in the NBA ever. The man will kick Scottie in the groin, and it's gonna be hilarious. They're gonna get into a fight. Scottie's gonna get ejected. That's one game down. Bulls lose. So there you go. That's one game done.
No. Okay.
So,
I mean, obviously, yeah, we're putting Green on Rodman, but I think Rodman's superior in that matchup.
But now you got to ask who's going to be guarding Klay Thomas. Who's going to be guarding Steph Curry? The Bulls don't have answers to that. Not only that, you got, and I love to say it, you got Anderson Varejao is the key.
What?
Yeah, you're going to laugh at me, but the man is, you just keep him under. The Bulls didn't really have, like, who was their center at the time?
What do they got? Harper? Was he their center?
Ron Harper? Ron Harper was a nobody, sir. So and then you got Sean Livingston too and Andrew Bogut. Like Andrew Bogut too. Like you could put Anderson Varejao, Andrew Bogut in there just to mess with Rodman, and then have, Draymond scooping him up and being the two. All they need is two guys to annoy the hell out of Rodman, and they got it right there. This team is going to kill them. They're going to annoy the hell out of them, and they don't have a response for Steph or Klay. That's the end of it. Maurice Spates is going to be the anger guy.
They're going to put Scottie Pippen on Steph. Okay. They're going to have Jordan work Klay.
And then you have an open Draymond, Harrison, Barnes.
No, you have Dennis Rodman, maybe the best on-ball defender in the history of the NBA, guarding Draymond Green. Good luck with that. Harrison Barnes. Put Tony Kukoc on him. Put Tony Kukoc. Put.
What defense does Tony Kukoc do?
Tony Kukoc is a great all-around basketball player.
Yeah, but Harrison Barnes is like a foot over him. Steve Kerr, what? Come on. Sean Livingston would cross up Steve Kerr any day of the week. You know I'm right.
No.
Steve Kerr could not handle. And then Andre Iguodala. You got okay. So let's do this. Steph, Klay, Draymond, Andre Iguodala, and then I don't even know. Bogut. Let's put those five. Who's guarding those five? You said Steph and Michael, right? So
no. We're putting we're putting Pippen on Steph.
Pippen on Steph. Okay.
Putting Pippen on Steph. You put Jordan on
Thomas.
Put Jordan on Thomas. You put Rodman on Green.
Okay, so they got Iggy going off.
The best,
Harrison Barnes.
Honestly, the best thing for the Bulls to do is what was the 73-win Warriors were not very good when they went big. So you have to go. You just have to force them to go big. So you put in the Ron Harpers, you put in the Tony Kukocs, you run those guys on.
But those guys were
Iggy
considered
and Barnes
big back in the day, but they're not.
No. The Warriors were not a big team. Draymond Green is undersized.
The only
every single player on this team is undersized.
Is Steph Curry and Klay. I'm just saying exactly what Freddie Airmail said. The 05-06 Warriors had a stronger schedule than the Bulls. It's the exact same argument you had against me in the last time. Who was the hardest team that the Bulls faced that year? Now, compared to the 73-win Warriors, who is the hardest team that they faced that year? The two are completely different.
I don't know, man. One team won a championship, one didn't.
Fair. You're right, but I still think that, like, especially if you want to compare like Warriors teams that have won championships, put Kevin Durant and that Warriors team against the Bulls, it's a done deal. The Warriors will win it even more so.
I don't think the matchups are there, man. When you look at the way that the teams play basketball, Jordan and Pippen absolutely dominated smaller point guards. And we're talking about a team of just undersized guards. Like, this is like the Bulls' specialty.
I don't know, man.
You pair that with the best on-ball defender in the history of the NBA, Dennis Rodman, pulling down every single rebound. One of the Warriors' biggest weaknesses is their inability to get second chances. Who's guarding these dudes in the lane when Michael wants to go down the lane? Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop the turnaround jumper? Who's going to stop Scottie Pippen playing off? Who's doing anything against the Bulls?
And obviously these Warriors.
No, I think it's going to be a close matchup.
So,
I do, but I think you're looking at Bulls and 7.
6'6". Ron Harper was a guard at 6'6". Then we got Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr.
Okay,
was 6'3",
so the Bulls point guard has 3 inches on the
so they put Luke. Well, they put Luke Longley in probably.
Yeah,
Tony Kukoc is also a forward. Yeah, I really don't see it. Like, I could see the starting, like, what it would be the starting 5 of like Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr, like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and like Luke Longley or Bill Winnington.
These are all good players. These are all great players.
I mean, they're clearly lacking.
I think the Bulls, but the Warriors are lacking it. The Warriors have lacked a center their entire run.
But you
their
put
best center
Andrew Bogut and Anderson Varejao are arguably better than Bill Winnington and Luke Longley. If you look at stats and pound for pound, Andrew Bogut is much better than both of them.
I don't believe that.
You are lying, sir. Look at your face.
You're talking about Andrew Bogut.
Come on, look, you're
this
clearly
big
lying. You're lying. You know you are. You're smiling through your teeth. Come on.
Go back and watch The Last Dance and tell me that Luke Longley didn't have it, man.
Luke Longley didn't have it. I'm looking you dead in your eyes and I'm saying no. Luke Longley was not great. You're lying to yourself.
He was excellent. Excellent basketball player.
I understand that you're trying.
Tony Kukoc was incredible.
I never said Tony Kukoc wasn't, but you're trying to argue Luke Longley was a good center. Get out of here.
You're comparing him to Andrew Bogut.
Andrew Bogut is a better center than Luke Longley.
No, he was a filler on a team. A team that has literally never had a good center. Ever.
Okay. So I just want to point out that this man that you're making fun of, you know what his 3-point percentage was that year? 100%.
I don't care what your center's 3-point percentage is.
100%.
On how many shots?
I have no idea, honestly. I think he's only like 2.
Okay. I want to check in on a couple soccer stories. We'll put that one to bed. Just real interesting today, Erling Haaland set the all-time Premier League scoring in a season, 35 goals, breaks the record. Incredible.
Love that.
You and I have been talking up this guy for like a year now.
Oh, dude's great. Phenomenal player. I want him to get some more like worldwide attention. I think it's just
I really want to see them do well in a Champions League.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
I would love to see that.
They need to make the national team. We need to see this guy on the world stage. So yeah, 100% agree with that. The other big story right now is Messi, 100% confirmed. He's out at PSG. We both called this. We still don't know where he's going. I think Inter Miami is still a possibility.
No way.
But I am still stuck. I think he's going to Barcelona. I know. We've hashed this out before. You think he might be going to a Saudi league? I don't believe this. Pretty sure we're gonna end up with this guy here in Barcelona.
Nah, man. I'm telling you, the man is very competitive, especially with Ronaldo. He doesn't like the fact that he's no longer the highest paid player in the world. He wants to keep that I'm GOAT, I'm the best mentality. And the only way that will transfer is the money, baby. He wants that money. And the only place that's going to pay him what he wants, Saudi Arabia. Don't get me wrong, man. I'd love it. I would genuinely love to see him in MLS. Why? Because that would increase the chances of us seeing Ronaldo here. But I just don't see it. These two are too competitive with each other. He wants to have every single thing above Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo can be like,
I think
I
you're
won the
viewing
Euro.
it as the point of view of a Ronaldo fan, because Ronaldo cares about Messi way more than Messi cares about Ronaldo.
I love
I
how
think
people
that's-
say that. I don't think they care about each other at all. I think genuinely it's more
Ronaldo
just like,
really seems to care. Ronaldo really seems to
I think it's just more a point of pride for each man to be number one. I don't think they genuinely care about the other person. I think it's genuinely like, I want to be number one. For Messi, I think he had the same mentality when Mbappe got paid higher than him. That's why he was like, I need to be paid more. I don't think it's a Ronaldo versus Messi. I think it's more just I need to be the best. I need to be number one. And Ronaldo pulled it off this year with the Saudi League, and I think Messi's going to keep the same mentality.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about this a couple times, but we're gonna keep tabs on this. It should be going down soon, hopefully.
I'm really excited about that. I would love to see
going
him
down soon. AJ, fan controlled hoops.
Oh yes, this is the one I wanted to talk about.
Okay, fan controlled hoops. We talked about it earlier in the show. They're saying, hey, come name some teams. Come up with team names. AJ, what team names you got? What are we coming up with?
Okay, so I'm still gonna champion this, and I know. If Ruthless Kitty is watching, she's going to be no, because it doesn't have the best Google searches when you look at this, but who's really searching Google's for team names ahead of time when they haven't been built? I still think the Rim Reapers is a great name. Why? Because it's the Grim Reapers without a G. There's rims in basketball. I think it's great. And I also have a logo that I'm working on where it's a skull with two R's facing each other. And it just looks right. It looks cool. I love it. Slammin' Sasquatches. Give me some Slammin' Sassies. All right. I think that would be a great name.
Okay.
Also, a cool mascot. Not just a logo is just like a paw dunking a thing through a hoop. I think that could be cool. You always got a nice Sasquatch face. I'd like to get medieval, but don't give me knights. Knights are boring. Give me like the Griffins. Give me like the Hydras.
Griffins.
You know, like give me
the Blake
something
Griffins.
Like, give me the Blake Griffins. All right. Give me the Mailmen. If we're gonna go that route, give me a bunch of like cool basketball nicknames. Like I want to see a bunch of Mailmen. I want to see a bunch of Icemen. Give me the Airmen. You know. Like
okay. I got one for you.
Let's go.
The Dunking Donuts.
Okay, I'm down for that, but the donut has to have a like police officer hat.
Why?
Because
like
police
just like
officers
cops like donuts,
and they dunk their donuts.
I was thinking it would be like the donut would be the rim, like the hoop. That's kind of how I was
actually pretty
envisioning it.
Cool. I like that.
I do like Reapers. I don't like the Rim Reapers. That sounds, I don't know. There's some connotations there that I'm not super big on.
I love how everybody's like held up on that. Grim Reapers, take the G out, man. You guys are so dirty.
It pops into your head. It's the first thing you think of.
I'm just saying, you guys have. That wasn't the first thing that popped into my head. Maybe I'm just an innocent boy in the fact that, but I've gone on tour for 10 years. What are you and Ruthless looking into, guys?
I don't know, man. I think
questions
that one might be
asked.
worth putting on a poll somewhere about just, hey, what's the first thing you think of when you hear the name the Rim Reapers?
See, I feel like people are like, did you say Grim Reapers? I'm like, no, the Rim Reapers. And then you show them the picture and it's like,
what about the Grim Reapers? And then it's just like that first R is just taller than the rest of the words. You know,
I mean, I'm cool with that. I don't care. I'm okay with it.
Okay, we're workshopping it right now.
The Rim Reapers. There you go. Freddie Airmail loves to mess with my dyslexia.
I like the Rim Reapers. I like that as well, Freddie. That's a good one.
But how is that different? I don't understand. I don't understand why that's different.
Because it's a different joke, AJ. It's a completely different joke. It hits your brain differently. I don't know what to tell you.
You're just like, your idea bad. Freddie Airmail. Good.
That's usually how it goes.
Come on, you got to have some names.
Just
or
checking
at least
the
logos.
Boston Celtics are up 30 on the 76ers right now.
That's nuts. That's actually nuts. But come on, you got to have some ideas, like anything that you really want to root for. I know that I talked to Stathead earlier, and he's hardcore trying to get the Unicorns to be a team.
The Unicorns would be I could be down for that. I don't know if I would want to be a fan of the Unicorns, but I like the Unicorns being in the league. I need to know who's gonna be, who's gonna be the ownership groups. That's what because I like it when the name of the team reflects the ownership group. I really enjoy that.
Well, we know
even
like
if it's
two.
Even if it's a joke, I don't necessarily get, like with the Zappers. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that has to do with Bob Menery.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think they've leaked or they've mentioned two.
Yeah.
Didn't they say Gilbert Arenas was in it?
Gilbert Arenas. I feel like I remember that.
And then I thought they showed Meta World's Peace on a video.
Well, so if we get Gilbert Arenas, Agent
check.
Zero.
Let me check. FC Hoops. ARE. No, Baron Davis.
Baron Davis.
Baron Davis. I always get those two confused.
Let's see. Did Baron Davis, did he have a nickname?
I don't know. It was Baron Davis was one.
The Barons is a pretty good name for a team.
The Barons is a good name for the team. I wouldn't mind that. So he was one, and then let me see. Feel like
I would like the Barons. I like Baron Davis. I think he's an interesting guy.
Maybe I thought that one up. I get some players confused, but the Athletic definitely reported about Baron Davis. So we know one. We got Mike Bibby too. So
Mike Bibby. Okay. I don't remember Mike Bibby having a nickname.
And then I'm sure you could we could start guessing.
Yeah.
Who lives in Atlanta? We got Shaq. Shaq may have a team. You got Chuck.
Shaq could have a team. So the Diesels.
The Diesels could be cool. Chuck could have a team. We got, Charles Barkley.
Okay.
The
Round Mounds.
Who else lives in Atlanta?
Vince Carter, is he in Atlanta still?
He's in Atlanta. He's a voice guy there. Kenny the Jet Smith lives there. You could do the Jets. I
don't want to name a team the Jets. Don't want to name I hate the Jets.
It's fair. Who else lives there? Well, fingers crossed Trae Young becomes one. That'd be great.
The Ice Trays?
I think you'd call them the Icemen.
The Icemen.
I don't think you'd call them the Ice Trays.
I like the Icemen.
I like the Icemen a lot. There's Dominique Wilkins and Mutombo that live there. The Highlight Machines.
That's not bad. I don't hate that one.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
And then what was Mutombo's nickname? The Showstopper? What was his name?
Let's see. Dikembe Mutombo.
Nickname. Mount Mutombo.
Mount Mutombo.
The mountains wouldn't be bad.
The mountains? The Mountain Men?
The Mountain Men. I'd get behind that.
I can deal with the Mountain Men. I'm just, dude, I'm hyped. I need some.
I need a team.
Sports
Dude, yeah.
I need it.
The Loch Nessies. All right, chat. Yeah, let's see what you guys got. The Rolling Tide says Death with the Scythe could be the name. Okay.
The Air Mailmen.
The Air Mailmen.
Bit wordy in my opinion.
It's true. I guess you could do the Goats.
The Goats. I think you're setting yourself up for failure if you call yourself the Goats.
I think you're setting yourself up for failure if you call yourself the Goats, unless you really dive deep into it. Like you get a sheep mascot. You really are like, no, we're just goats. Like we love goats. Like, we're not the greatest of all time, but have you met our goat, Shelly? And then they have like a real goat. That would be great.
The
Velocity.
ball hogs. I
So
like that.
2Z that we discussed earlier, actually one of his designs is the ball hogs, and it's
I like
a
that.
ball-shaped pig, I think. They're
That's
up on
pretty cool.
the
That's
Twitter
a pretty
one.
cool design.
They had like the foul outs, the toxic, and obviously we can't use them anymore because they are an ABA team. But what was it? The instigators, and they were gators.
Instigators.
Yeah, they were like alligators, but not using that one anymore.
I mean, the ABA
Pandemonium. That's it. Yeah,
the Pandemonium.
and it's
So
a
panda mascot.
Yeah.
I think I can get behind that.
The panda mascot. You like the Pandemoniums?
Yeah, I like it. But you also, you get the black and white for the jerseys. I like that.
I don't know why, but I still like the highlight machines. Maybe mean machines. Let's go.
The mean machines.
The mean machines. Yeah. I don't know. The only thing about the ball hogs, though, and I'm gonna be real, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's a big 3 team.
Really?
Yeah. So I feel like there could be issues with that one.
Yeah, I mean that's
trademarks.
That's for Fan Controlled Sports Entertainment to figure out. That's not for me to figure out, man. I'm
No,
just
it's not for us.
names.
We're just submitting names. Yeah. I don't know. The Slamming Sasquatches, the Slamming Sassies, I think.
I don't hate that one. I like a Sasquatch. Yeah.
I still say the Rim Reapers are great, but everybody's like, no.
I mean, hey, submit it. If it makes it to vote, man, it makes it to vote. Let's bring
Slam
back a classic.
Let's
Slam.
Squatches.
Now that one I like. Let's bring back a classic. The old, almost what the name of the Wild Aces was. Let's be the Milk Mommies.
The Milk Mommies, yeah.
The Milk Mommies. Mame leche.
So bad. Oh my god. Oh man. Can we just get a team called the Homers?
The Homers, I like that. The Hot Shots, Freddie Airmail. If you want to bring, if we want to do the Hot Shots,
bring the Hot Shots back.
Hot Shots.
You can bring that.
I like
back.
that name a lot. I really wanted the Hot Shots to win. So let's do it, man. Let's make the Hot Shots.
Reference back at it.
Also, like shots are actually a thing in basketball. So.
Yeah, Hot Shots. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. The Downtown Bonanza. How about this? Just the Mutants. You know what?
The Mutants.
I like it.
Okay.
Give some Bored Ape people a home to go. Let's go with the Mutants.
Okay.
Just have a big X, and that's all it is.
That might get us sued.
It doesn't have to be red and black, and it doesn't have to be in a circle. It could be in a square, white and blue. Come on. Whatever colors need to be used at the time so we don't have clashes.
All right, AJ. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the show today. Oh, we can run some off the top 3 if you want. I mean, sure. We're running over time. We got some, but we can run some.
I guess we did technically start a little late. So
we did. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. AJ, off the top 3 is the game we like to play every episode. We're gonna make top 3 lists off the top of our head. AJ, what do you got for me?
All right.
What am I gonna make a top 3 list of here?
So I know we just asked names for teams.
Okay.
I want to ask you this. If you could pick 3 animals and or things to be just mascots, it doesn't have to be the name or anything, just a mascot, what would you pick?
I always like bird teams. I'm always big into bird teams. I think birds make for great mascots. So, not a lot of teams actually use eagles. So, some kind of eagle I think would be really cool.
A phoenix could be cool. You don't see phoenixes often.
Phoenixes, yeah, that's like a mythical bird. Maybe like a hippogriff of some kind too would be cool. Just something with wings. That's really what I care about. Some kind of bird. Maybe I would like like the crazy baseball mascots or like the hockey mascots, like Gritty, like just a really weird, just like thing.
Give me
I don't think we don't get enough of that in like football
give me
or
Murph.
basketball.
Have you seen Murph?
Which one's Murph?
Murph is the Nerf mascot.
Yes.
Just give me
Yes.
a Murph for FCF.
Yeah.
Or FCH.
Give me some like Lovecraftian monster kind of design. The condors, Freddie. Yeah, I can go with the
Alf.
condors.
Sure.
For a mascot, what about just like a dude? Just like a regular
Just
dude.
like the dads. And it's just like a dad in khakis.
Yeah,
and
he's
a hat.
like wearing a polo. He's got it tucked into his khaki shorts.
Yeah.
He's
So-
he's wearing New Balances.
Yeah.
Just a regular dude.
the
The regular dudes.
I love it. I think that's great.
AJ, my top 3 list for you. I want to know. I've been going through. I feel like I've hit a little like a plateau in my music listening this year. I've kind of bottomed out a little bit where I just feel like I'm listening to the same stuff over and over again a lot right now. And that's not how I like to be. So AJ, right now I want to give me the top 3 albums I probably haven't listened to.
Okay. Top 3 albums. I'm gonna go with, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Conditions. It's by a band named Conditions.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Fluorescent Youth by Conditions.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say Anadonia by The Graduate.
Okay,
then-
I know The Graduate. I don't think I've listened to that album.
Okay. And then finally, let's see if I can do this one. So I'm giving you 3 bands that I absolutely loved when I was coming up. All right. Wall of People by the band Monty R.I.
Monty R.I.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last band, Monty R.I., they broke up a couple years ago, but they are the first ever like alternative rock pop punk band that I've ever heard and saw live that used trumpets and trombones in a way that didn't make me think ska.
Okay, I love a horn.
And it
Love
is.
a horn.
They are great artists. All of them went on to go join other big bands later on in their careers. Big fan of this, especially because they have an actual waltz as one of their songs and a nice 4/4 tuning. I loved it. It was great. 4/4 tempo. I mean, it's wild. The Graduate is a Chicago like band. They, ironically, one of their last shows ever I went to, actually their last show ever, and long story short, some of the guys like ended up, the guitarist in that band ended up being in another band called The Dangerous Summer and ended up touring with them later on in our career, in my old band's career. And then the first band, Conditions, was another band I played and opened for, but and another band that like broke up and went on to be like, you know, role players in other big bands later on. But these guys, I opened for them, and I just thought they were absolutely massive. They should have been a bigger band. And yeah, I just love giving shout outs to bands that maybe have died, but like need a little more attention. But
yeah, I'll definitely check these out. Freddie Airman wants to know what genres I'm feeling right now. I'll tell you what, Freddie, I listen to an absolutely insane amount of music. I'm all over the place. Lately, what I've been listening to a lot of, I'll just give you some examples. Been listening to a lot of alternative country music. Okay, been listening to a lot of 70s Brazilian pop music. Okay, I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift, and I've been listening to a lot of like 80s hardcore punk. That's kind of what I've been listening to a lot of right now. I'll listen to
legitimately the definition of all over the place.
I am like I said, I listen to an absolute insane amount of music. So send me anything that you think is really good, man, and I'll listen to it.
That is nuts. That is
But
legitimately the definition of all over.
Well,
Love
everybody, that's Don't Cause a Ruckus. We go live on twitch.tv/fan-controlled sports every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Talking all the sports, talking all the fun stuff. Stop by or check it out on podcast services or the YouTube. Just check out Fan-Controlled Sports. But until next time, keep the ruckus to a minimum.